Thank you, Chairman Hatch, and thanks to my colleagues on the committee. Mr. Barnschall, thank you for being here, and your insight is always illuminating for us. Thank you, Mr. Goldman. Thank you for your acumen and what you will bring to this. We are very grateful to both of you. We had a productive meeting the last time we met. It's clear that people in both parties on this committee are ready to work in good faith to find a solution to this crisis. I spoke a moment ago to Congressman Buchanan about his desire to find out what got us here, and I think today the questions I will ask, and we've coordinated with Chairman Hatch to elicit the information that we need to understand, sort of to build the framework so we understand these issues the way that we need to come up with the bipartisan solution. So, Vern, thank you for your insight that way. There are some 100 multi-employer pension plans on the brink of failure. They have members in every single state in the country. A number of us in our states and our districts have literally thousands of people that could lose their pensions and hundreds of businesses that will be affected. 1.5 million workers and retirees are at risk of losing the security they earned at the bargaining table over a lifetime of hard work. Small businesses are at risk of collapsing if they end up on the hook for pension liability they cannot afford to pay. Groups as diverse as the Chamber of Commerce and labor unions and the AARP are all pushing for a solution because they know what is at stake for them, their businesses, their membership. It's what we'll explore here today, how we got here, what's at stake as we work to solve this crisis for retirees, for workers, for small businesses, for taxpayers. These are workers and businesses who pretty much did everything right. They joined with other businesses, companies that thought that they were guaranteeing their workers a secure retirement because experienced trustees were managing the investment. This year, I talked with a small business owner from the Mahoning Valley in Ohio, in the Youngstown area, whose business participates in the Central States Plan. He wrote me this letter afterwards. I've owned my business 18 years. The company's been in my family for 60 years. It has made contributions to this fund to ensure that the hard work and dedication of our employees pay off in the form of a pension. He then writes, many employers that once contributed to these plans have simply gone out of business, leaving the remaining employers to support the remaining employees and retirees of the companies that have closed. That's, in a nutshell, a pretty good explanation. He then says, please, we're asking you to get together with your colleagues, reach across the aisle. That's what we are doing. That's what this committee is constructed to do. We need 5 votes at minimum on each side. And then he says, find a solution that will help my employees keep their jobs. These are the kind of business owners we're talking about, honest men and women trying to do right by their workers. We need to remember what workers gave up to earn these pensions. Workers in these plans sat at negotiating tables. They gave up pay and other benefits in the short term today, money they could have used for their families, in order to guarantee a pension 10, 20, 30, 35 years later when they retired. Too many people in Washington don't really understand what happens during these negotiations. We have to be clear, these workers earned these pensions. They gave up pay to do it. They paid into this system for years. Now these plans are about to fail again through no fault of these businesses or these workers. Each plan is different. There are many factors that played a role in getting them to this place. Many of these plans are in the same industries that have been affected by decades of bad trade deals, of outsourcing of jobs, of general shifts in the American economy. There's no question that the economic collapse of 2008 devastated these plans and the people and the businesses who depend on them. Even the coal miners' pension, an industry that has been badly hurt, as we know, over the past few decades, even the coal miners' pension was nearly 90% funded before the financial crisis. If these plans fail, they take thousands of businesses and jobs with them, and the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation is supposed to step in. But the PBGC, as we know too well, is also on the brisk of failure. $67 billion in the red, $2 billion in assets. If PBGC fails, it will be up to Congress to step in or to allow the entire multi-employer pension system to fail. Failure should not be an option in this committee or for this Congress. Failure would wipe out the retirement of 10 million American workers and retirees, force American businesses to file bankruptcy, lay off workers, close their doors. The problem only gets more and more expensive to fix, and the problem gets greater the longer we wait. That's why Chairman Hatch and I and this group of 14 others wanted to do this committee, wanted to have an end date in December, wanted it to be bipartisan, and wanted to fast-track this bill to the floor when, I like to think when we come to agreement. That's why our work's so important. We must fix it now. I'm eager to hear from our witnesses today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.